Let me paint a little picture for you. You are a busy and disorganized person with ADHD and memory issues. You're self-employed and thus completely in charge of your own calendar. You've got a lot of different jobs, a lot of different hobbies, a lot of different social engagements, and things are happening all of the time. You're also a pretty creative person who likes to write and doodle. And you're also someone who benefits from taking notes and annotating the things that you read. However, massive caveat, you hate using notebooks because you can't stand the idea of just wasting paper. Then, out of the blue, you get an email from a company called Viwoods. Viwoods is a company that makes digital notebooks that are the answer to every single one of your problems. They send you their digital notebook and lo and behold, it turns out to be the device that you have needed your entire life. So yes, this video is sponsored by Viwoods, who have very graciously sent me their AiPaper e-ink tablet to check out, review, and tell you all about. And as someone who has owned multiple smartphones, tablets, and e-readers, but has never had a digital notebook before, this thing is a game changer. I've been using this thing for a few days, and I already don't know what I'd do without it. So let's talk about it. The very first thing that I noticed about this tablet is also arguably the most lovely thing about it, which is the fact that it comes with a stylus and a really lovely cover. When you take this thing out of the box, it is already in the cover, and the cover has a little loop to store your stylus. The next thing I noticed is the fact that this thing is so light and thin. Look at that. It's so thin. It's so light. It feels like holding a notebook, but thinner and actually lighter. Now, I said at the beginning that I don't like wasting paper. Anytime I make a note to myself or I draw something and I end up scrunching that up and throwing it away, even if I'm recycling it, it still feels like a complete waste. When I was in French class at school, my French teacher would always tell anyone who threw away a piece of paper, that's a leaf. That's a leaf that's just gone out of the world. And that really stuck with me, as you can tell. I can't stand the idea of wasting paper. Well, that is Viwoods' entire philosophy. They aim to replace notebook paper with something digital. I know that so many people my age have a thing for notebooks and stationery. I know this because my partner is one of those people. I have never understood it because it all seems like such a waste. Well, that's all gone now. This thing does everything. As soon as you switch it on, this is what you're greeted with. You'll see a 2x3 grid with 6 options available, the first being paper. And as any writer or artist will tell you, a blank sheet of paper is a world of possibility. So I wrote the phrase, "It's awesome," because it's awesome. With a blank page and a stylus, you can write or draw anything. Now, I am not an artist, but I did look around online, and I've seen a few talented artists on YouTube draw incredible things on this e-ink tablet. So, if you're someone who likes to sketch and draw, you can use this to sketch and draw designs, or just doodle. I am not an artist, but I love the idea of being one, and something that always holds me back is the idea of just wasting paper as I learn and explore and experiment, but that won't be the case anymore. I can sit and draw for hours on this thing without ever having to worry that I'm wasting anything at all. That is so important to me. But beyond drawing, obviously you've got writing as well, and there are lots of different options for different types of pens and pencils. But how does it feel? That's the important thing, right? It's incredible. It's absolutely amazing. A really, really cool touch about this stylus is that it has this little button on the side, which when you hold it down, it turns this thing from a pencil instantly into an eraser. So all I do is press the button on the side and everything I draw or write gets erased. Isn't that amazing? It's so convenient. I let go, I can write something else. I hold it down, and it's gone. Brilliant. I've never seen that before. What a brilliant touch. It's so simple and so clever, as all the best innovations are. I also have to admit something kind of weird, which is that despite being a professional writer, my handwriting isn't very nice. But I like the way it looks on this tablet. The feel of the stylus on the screen is lovely. There's not really any lag that I can notice, and depending on the angle you write with or the pressure that you apply, the pen or pencil effect looks different. And my handwriting actually looks really nice on this display. I'm going to be writing future poems and short stories on this thing in my own handwriting because it looks so lovely. Here's a poem that I've been working on recently. It's called Thiefs, and it's a pretty angry poem. And it was so much fun writing the poem out freehand and testing out different pen and pencil styles as I went. One really cool function I want everyone to know about this as a left-handed person is the fact that it is so easy to just switch sides. Now, as a lefty, I have a much easier time writing on the tablet. This is another great example of small innovations making a really big difference. And I also mentioned at the beginning that I am an incredibly disorganized person with ADHD. I am always at risk of missing deadlines and meetings and loads of other things. But this thing has a fantastic built-in calendar. This calendar is terrific and it does so much. For example, here is the month display. Then I can switch it over to the week display and the daily calendar as well. And here is a really awesome feature. You can select a day in the calendar, then you can go to others, and this section allows you to move into other areas. For example, on this day, let's say I have a meeting. Then I can write in all the details of the meeting on that day. You've got the date up here, and this particular meeting is going to be all about business because I know about business. You can also synchronize your calendar with your Google Calendar. And another section that you'll find on the home screen is called Learning, and this is where you can import your PDFs. You can send any PDFs to your AiPaper e-ink tablet and you can annotate them as much as you like. Here we've got a PDF copy of my favorite novel in the whole wide world, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, and I can do whatever I like with this PDF copy. For example, since this is my favorite book, I want everybody to know that. So I'm going to mark it right here. This is my favorite book. You can also scroll through the pages as you like and find a section that you think is important and you can highlight it. For example, this is Robert Walton's third letter to his sister. So I'm going to mark this as letter 3 and it was written by Robert. I am an academic. Once you've made these notes, when you scroll, it says saving and then it moves on and you can continue scrolling. Something that really took me by surprise about this tablet is the fact that it is powered by Android. It comes preloaded with a few apps like Google Chrome and also Kindle and Kobo, but you can also download and install things like Google Docs. So if you're watching this and wondering if you can use it as an e-reader if you're someone who uses Kobo or Kindle, yeah, you can. I can now use this as a Kobo e-reader. I replaced my Kindle with a Kobo a few years ago, but I still don't actually use my Kobo as much as I'd like because it's an older model now. But this thing is like twice the size. It's got a much better resolution. It's so thin and lightweight. This is perfect for reading novels and manga. It is in black and white, so I can't read Western comic books like Marvel and DC, even though the Marvel Unlimited app actually does come pre-downloaded. But manga? Absolutely. And there's also the Meetings app as well. Now, I'm a professional, which means I know all about how offices and meetings work. So, for example, I could host a meeting that's called Derek, and the meeting is going to take place in the office. And at that meeting is going to be me and Derek, and we're going to talk about marketing. And we're gonna do strategies and markets, like, for example, France. I'm a professional. This tablet also has a third-party cloud app backup system. If you go to the Files section here, you then have the option to connect to OneDrive, Dropbox, or Google Drive. Once you've done that, you can go to your files, and you can select a file, and you can export it here to the drive of your choice as a PDF. It's so fast and so convenient. Elephant in the room, this tablet is called the AiPaper, and I'm someone who is very vocal about the fact that I do not like AI. But I'm also aware that AI is literally everywhere. Every single time you Google anything, you are unfortunately using AI now. And I am not joking when I say that I bought a rice cooker last month, and my rice cooker has AI software. I still don't exactly know what that means, but it's written on the box. I have an AI rice cooker. After exploring the functions of the AiPaper tablet for a little while, the main and most interesting AI function that it has is when using the tablet to read PDF documents. You can highlight bits of text and then use the inbuilt AI software to search that text and find out more about it, or to summarize the entire document, things like that. As a notebook, this thing is an absolute game changer. I never have to feel guilty for using paper. I never have a reason to forget things or mismanage my life thanks to my terrible ADHD brain ever again. And I can finally practice drawing and sketching without feeling like I'm wasting things. I can just sit and draw for hours, experimenting with different styles. I can do whatever I like. It's amazing how much I love the button on the side of this stylus. Just draw, erase, draw, erase, draw, erase. It's so cool. The AiPaper e-ink tablet is absolutely amazing. From today on, I'm going to be using it as an e-reader, as a notebook, as a planner and a calendar, and it feels so good to use. And as a lefty, I don't smudge anything. Lefties out there know exactly what I'm talking about. The smudging, the ink down the side of your hand, you know what I'm talking about. It's a nightmare. I have suffered with ink marks down the side of my hand my entire life. Now, I love being left-handed because we're just better people. But that's the cost. This thing is amazing. Thank you so much to Viwoods for sponsoring this video. Check out the link in the description and get yourself an AiPaper e-ink tablet and subscribe for books.